Hey guys, so recently the trailer for the movie Love, Simon came out, and since then I have seen a lot of people talking about the process of casting actors for movies with queer people or just generally marginalized people. So if you don't know anything about the Love, Simon movie, basically the main actor for the gay character in Love, Simon is a straight actor as far as we know, and a lot of people are criticizing that because they wish that a queer actor had been cast for that role. The reason this matters so much to people is because queer people are often not given the opportunity for these roles and also aren't given the opportunity for roles for straight characters either. And it just seems more genuine to the movement if queer actors are cast as queer characters. And I really agree with this because I think right now, because there's such a limited amount of queer actors in the industry, we should raise them up by casting them in roles that they genuinely understand better than straight actors and roles that they can relate to and add to. Straight actors being cast for queer roles happens over and over again, just constantly. And there's not like a lack of queer actors auditioning for these roles, but they just keep choosing straight actors, and that's the problem. And ideally we could live in a world where queer actors and straight actors are all just cast regardless of their sexuality, but right now it matters because queer actors are not equal in the movie industry or anywhere, so it's important that we get them into these roles. And a lot of times this conversation leads to the question of, should we support these movies that keep casting straight actors for queer roles? Because a lot of people feel like it is exploiting LGBT culture and recognizing that people want to see LGBT movies, but they don't actually want to support LGBT people in their casting. Whether or not you believe that's the case for Love, Simon or for other LGBT movies, it does send a certain message when you put your money into seeing a movie. But for me, this question is kind of complicated because on one hand, I want to see queer actors cast in queer roles, and I want to see queer actors succeed. But on the other hand, I know that creating queer content in any industry is kind of risky, at least in that industry's eyes, and you kind of have to prove that people want to see that. And so if we boycott films that don't cast queer actors for queer roles, then what message does that send? What we're intending is for it to send the message that we want queer actors, but what might be received is that we don't want to see LGBT movies because they're not hearing what we have to say. And for me, I guess this boils down to the fact that I am going to watch LGBT movies even if queer actors aren't cast as much as they should be, as long as I think that the film sends a good message about the community and as long as I think it's not harmful to the community. So for me that means, you know, if a cis person is cast as a trans person, I think that sends certain messages about trans people that I don't want to support, so I won't see movies like that. But if there's a movie about a gay kid falling in love who isn't played by a queer actor, I'm still gonna support that movie, but I think our activism can't stop there. I think we really have to demand that queer roles be played by queer actors, and I think that comes from talking about it on social media and finding movies that do cast queer people as queer characters and really making a point to say, like, this is what we want. You know, looking at stuff that's created by queer people, for queer people. And I'm not saying you're wrong if you choose to boycott films that don't cast queer actors, but I think you may just want to consider how not seeing the movie will be perceived by the film industry. But I think ultimately the biggest thing is just saying what you really want from the industry and really supporting the content that has your values in them, which means queer actors. But that's just my take. If you have thoughts about this, feel free to let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time I make a video. I don't want to promise that I'm making videos again, but I do have a bunch of ideas that I actually want to film now, so sorry for kind of falling off the face of the earth when I said I was going to start making weekly videos again, because yeah, that didn't happen.